All right, howdy everyone. Let's see if I can get this going. One thing that I almost forgot, this needs to be dimpled. No, it does not. No, it does not. This can stay flat, so I do not need to dimple this. I can just go ahead and rivet. I was thinking I needed to dimple that, but I do not. So I got to take these out. These are my dimple dies. I'll just set those aside for a moment. So now I need to figure out what die set I need to get these rivets in place. So first, let's figure out what rivets we need. So these are 4s. These are 426 AD3s. The 426 is the type of head. These are the countersunk flush head. The AD3, the 3 is the diameter, and the -4 is the length. I've talked about that before in other videos, but that's just a super quick recap. So again, the hinge, see the hinge goes this way. My adapter piece goes like this. So let's see what these look like. That actually looks a little long. Let me try a 3.5 in length. I thought a 3.5 would be way too short. Maybe not. All right, so these again, 426 is the flathead, AD3 is the diameter, and 3.5 length. Let me get my orientation correct again, hinge. It's very, very critical that you get the correct leg riveted onto the hinge. Don't get it wrong, because you have to either drill those all out and start over, or make a new one from scratch. So that goes like that. Throw a rivet in here. Yeah, that might be a little small. I'm going to stick with the 4s. Hopefully they won't be too long. I can kind of sneak up on them. All right, so I have a little cheat sheet off camera. I'm going to look at that real quick and see what my stack up needs to be. All right, let's see. So my cheat sheet says that I need my 3/8 die, my 1/8 inch die, a fat and 2 fat washers. But I'm going to use a fat and a thin just so I don't over smash it. I've already checked the air compressor. It's got the appropriate PSI. Let me get this oriented again. Yes. Get some plecos in it. These clecos I keep in a bag because they're short. These are little stubby clecos. And I don't have very many of them. So rather than throw them in my bucket with the standard long ones and then have to dig them out, I just keep these separate in a bag because, like I said, I don't have a ton of them. Okay, you'll also note that I've got this piece in this orientation. This piece is on the bottom of the hinge. You want the hinge to be nice and flat so that it will lay flat up underneath the cowling. If I were to put the hinge on this side, then the flange of this piece would be on top and it would lay flat against the cowling and potentially hang down a little bit. I suppose that could be worked to your advantage, but I'm going to put my bent aluminum piece underneath the hinge so that only the hinge will lay against the cowling. Now let's see if I can get in here. Is that right? That's right. All right, that is not done. It's not squeezed enough, so I'm going to go up. I'm going to take out my thin washer and add a fat. I don't usually use the 3-inch yoke because it's got flex in it. I like my what is it called? I think it's called a flanged yoke or something like that. I like that one better because it's got more structure to it and it doesn't flex. All right, let me hit this one again. That's better, but it's ugly. I think those rivets are too long. Let me go back to a 3.5. Since I'm going smaller in length, I can leave this same stack up on here and won't have any issues with over squeezing. So that ugly one I'm probably going to have to take out of there, which is going to be difficult, so I may just leave it. I'll show it to you here in a minute. All right, 3.5, here we go. Much better. Still not enough squeeze, so I'm going to add another, I think I'll add a thin washer. Like I said, I don't mind sneaking up on it till I get it figured out. That looks better. I don't think it's done enough quite yet. I'm going to gauge it. So this is one of those weird areas, right? 3.5 seems to be a little bit too small, but the 4 is a little bit too long. So considering what this is, I'm going to go ahead and go with the shorter 3.5s. I'm just not going to over squeeze them. I'll probably under squeeze them a little bit. Like that. And I'm just going to go with that. Let me squeeze down this other one and see what happens here just a little bit. This is the ugly one. Yeah, pretty ugly, but not worth taking it out. So I'm going to leave that one. Again, considering what this is, you know, if it was a structural surface like a control surface, part of the fuselage, something like that, I would definitely redo it. But I'm not going to get all bent out of shape over it. Yeah, I think those 3.5s are the right choice. Still getting some pillowing on these thin aluminum, but that's to be expected because you should use the shop head on the thin spot, but I can't do that, or I chose not to do it that way. Because I want, like I said, I want this hinge to be nice and flat up in here. So, or I mean the manufactured head should be on the thin side. And that is not the case. So I'm getting some pillowing between the rivets. All right, I'll show you this here in a second. I gotta do some adjustment here before I continue on. So I'm gonna get this finished riveted, and then I'll show you the end result, including the ugly one.